All right, guys, welcome to this second part of this tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to just be dealing with materials since we have dealt with um, the lighting. So now what we can do is, since we have a lot of things here, it might want to be difficult for us to actually work effectively on our materials. So what I do in this is to come to this layer, and of course this is actually the layer for my building. So I'm going to just off all the other layers that are not really important for me right now. So you see, I have only my object. Of course, there are some that are not fitting to layers. I don't know why. So I'm just going to hide them, and I have this object right now. So if I click to start the interactive rendering, you see what I have is simple white model inside HDRI. So what I want to do now is to come to rendering and disable override material. Of course, there will be a complaint from Corona that this item is not, this object rather, is not supported, this material rather is not supported. It is not a problem, just start. So I always start my material creation with window or doors. So we have windows all around and you can see the way they look. So I just use this icon to pick material from the object. So it will pick material on each object. And now what I'm going to do is, I don't want to stress too much on this because Corona actually helps us. It gives us material library, which actually can be really awesome, and you can use it. And that's what we are going to use. So if I click on this icon, it will open the material library for me. And of course, it will open also the web page that will show you the licensing agreement. And we have series of materials that we can use with Corona. So the one I'm going to start with will be glass. So if I click on glass, you see I have different types of glass that I can use here. And for now, I'm just going to use a very simple glass, which is actually a clear glass like this. So my method of creating something like this is to actually come to sample slots. So I can drag it like this. So I'll use the sample slot. I'll just pick this and drag it into the sample slot. Okay, this can be reduced. And now I have the clear glass, drag it and drop it into the sample slot. So I have that. And I can come here now. You can see our window have two materials on it. The first one is frame, the second one is glass. So I'll just change material type. You can see just right clicking on this and I'll choose change material type. And now in this, I'll just pick sample slot and choose clear glass. So I'll use this as instance. And now in the rendering, you see that Corona will actually see that material, but we have too much of materials still having effect. So don't worry, we have this. We might need to actually tweak it a little bit later, but that is it. So for the frame, we will need to come to metals. So I can just use a black aluminum anodized. So I'll place it here. So definitely I'll change and choose aluminum black anodized as well. So now I have this long, you know, material. So I can actually press H while I'm clicking on this, so it will minimize it for me. So now let's look at the render. So we are seeing the material coming out, but everything still does not make sense yet because of that Revit material. So no problem. The next one to do now is to look at the major material, which is actually the wall. So I'll pick it. So this material right now, I can come here and you see walls. So I can pick the plaster white smooth, just put it here and change material. You can see plaster white smooth as instance. And now things will start making sense gradually. You see, everything is showing up gradually, and that is cool. All the even the fence says all the fence, all the materials on the fence change rather. So no problem. For this, we are going to be using wood. So I'm just going to click on it. So one of the things I do when I'm working in Revit is to make sure that I don't have too many materials that will be giving me stress whenever I want to create them in 3D Max, except if necessary. I don't go beyond maybe 4 materials. It is just a personal opinion anyway, but yet that's the way I use it. So now I'm just going to, I'm going to right click, change material type to cherry semi-glossy, and you see we are having something really cool. I don't like this the way it is. I need a dark one, so I have two options. It's either I come here and find something dark like this walnut, so I can just pick the walnut, drag it there. So I can drag the walnut there and actually change this material to it. Or better still, I come to this bitmap here, and if I lift this up, I'll see options here, and on the output side, I can enable the color map, and I click choose basic corner and drag this down. You can see it becomes a little bit dark, and now you see this is dark, something close to that walnut. So it doesn't matter which one you want to use. The major thing is that you get the effect you want. So now having gotten that effect, the next thing to do is to move on to the other material. So I'm going to just pick this wall here. So that wall actually have two materials on it. The major reason is because I created the main wall and now painted another material rather on it in Revit. But now the main wall we already have the original material on it, because when we changed this, when we changed this, it actually took into consideration that we have this as well. So now that we have this, what are we going to do? Let's find a good original material. In this case, I'm going to use stones, and the stone I'm going to use will be any of these, but I think if I can remember very well in that project, I actually used this particular one, so I'm going to drag it here. So which is actually this, but yet you need to see the way I work when I'm working. So I pick the stone veneer as instance. So I'm using everything as instance so that it will actually make sense. So now we are coming up with something really nice, and It's quite simple and easy. That this is one of the reasons people like Corona, because you don't have to rack your brain creating all the material yourself. And don't forget, you will always have these textures that you are not using that came with from Revit. So just delete them. So now let's deal with these giants that we have here. Sorry, it's supposed to be in the scene. So for this material, I'm going to come back to walls. So I'm going to use this. And if you notice in our render, we have it as blue. So now let's just see what to do. Change material to this. And you notice that it is actually looking blue, but not the kind of blue that we used. So you can play with it. You can play with the material. You double click on that material, you will see all the material properties here. And now if I look at it, how was it created? You'll discover that we have corona color map. So if I pick that, I can begin to, change that to the kind of color that I want. Very dark. So see what we have there. Quite simple and straightforward to create. So we are almost through with all our materials. So it's just the same process. So let's pick another one. So I'll pick this one. So if you notice here, we have some wood as at that point. So what are we going to do? We actually have many materials there. We have three. So the one with the woods, how will I know that it's the one with the wood? Best way for me to do is to drag this out. Oops, that is the one with the wood. So what I'm going to do now is to find the wood material. So I come back to wood. So I see different ones, but I'll just find, I'll pick this, now put it here and change this material to that cherry semi-glossy. And another thing I like about this Corona is the fact that you don't need to bother too much about the scaling. So now let's see the textures are high resolutions, but I still don't like it yet. It is too, bright, but I'm going to just leave it at that. I can change it. At least I've shown you how to make it a little bit dark, or if you change it as well from the material editor. So the next one, if we check, will be around here. So let's pick it. So this might be a little bit tricky. Why? Is because other materials, there are many other objects that will have this same material as well. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this object here. I want it to be white, the same material as the wall that is on top of it. So I'm just going to use the normal plaster, apply it, and you can see I solved that problem over there. solve that problem over there. So I still have this material to change later, but for now we can just click on the on this floor right here. So let's just click this to see where we have that floor. Right, that's the floor. Oops, it's not it. Okay, it's the floor. So also because the two floors are sharing the same material and I don't want them to have the same material. So what I'm going to do is I'll take this floor, come here again, then pick the and come back to stone. I guess I can get some cobblestones and I guess I can use this cobblestone. So I'll just drag it here straight, not even here, just dragging it straight. Then apply to the object that I selected, which was actually the floor here for the landscape. So we got that one out. So in order for me to see things well, I might actually have to come here. Okay. So I will still need to come back to this and give it some UVW map, but can still we still have some objects that comes with Revit material. So material editor just align this. So it's quite simple what you can quickly do with Corona. So this one, I want a kind of tiles. So let's see ceramics. The ceramics or okay, I think it should be in stones as well. Okay, we have this white marble. So I'm going to drag it into the material slot. Then I can change material to white, marble white. And you can see that also changed. Of course, as I'm changing them, they will be changing in Blender as well. So I'll just pick this floor, apply that marble on it. So that is quite nice. Next one is the door. Next one is the door. So I pick this door. I have this four materials. So this is the way Revit categorize them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this clear glass, copy it into this place, not as instance now, but as copy, and click OK. So I'll click on the change material. Actually, I'm supposed to just pick this and just copy instead. So delete this. So that's for that. The major reason I'm using copy here and not just using the same classes because and I want to change the way they look. But let's just apply random materials to everything first. So also I need wood material. Close this guy for the door and also the wood. Just find Of course, I can use white wood because it seems like I use white wood for the reference image, but let's just find another one. So let's use this glossy kind of, or let's use something glossy. So again, I made a mistake. I'm supposed to actually put it into the material slot, so I can put it back here. So it doesn't matter. Delete this. So now where is my door? This door frame. So change material type and choose the pine semi-glossy. So use instance because this is still complaining. I'm going to deal with all the materials of so do okay. Make sure we have this. I always delete all those Revit bitmaps or textures. So what I will do is for the doors, I'll click on door panel as well, change material to same material because I want them to have the same material. So now the door handle, I can just use is a chrome and one metal. So do I have something that looks like a chrome? So I have chrome and I'm going to use this chrome that have fingerprints on it to just simulate the effect of fingerprints. So change chrome instance and you can see it's quite simple. It's just changing the materials. You are not actually creating materials like that. This is just a beginner tutorial, so you don't have to be so deep before you can create something really really cool with Corona. So if you check the render now, because as I'm changing it, everything is changing. You can see that we are now getting a nice render, even though we still have a lot of way to go. So I noticed that the coping on that, in fact, all these objects, which I'm still coming back to, the coping is having a kind of wood texture, maybe because I changed the material, particularly this, and they're having the same material. Then I just choose the coping, find the uh, white plaster, apply it, and that's all for that. Um, what else? What are the things? So this wall, I'm going to just pick it. So do this. So where's that particular wall? Um, I guess it's this. Wait, it's this. What I'm going to do is to come to walls, and I think I used stucco. So I'm going to find stucco, see a dark stucco like this, and actually what I use is okay, I use this, put it here. Now I can change this. So if we check the render now, that area is having that stucco, but the challenge with it right now is that it is quite it is not dark, so I can pick the material. Sure, I I always align everything vertically so that I'll be able to see my materials well. So it is this. We have corona color. So I can change the color to what I feel like I want to use. Some I think I'm going to come to something dark like this and use. And if you check it, the render, we are seeing that dark, but not totally dark. So what I'm going to do having this is maybe I can put it on 10. So it is dark. It has some reflections on it, even though the texture is used for the reflection, and it has normal for bump, but yet that is just it is nice there, even though it is not really looking like it in this place. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because we don't have any other objects in the environment that will actually block some light that will affect this. So it is so exposed to the light, and that is why. Don't worry, in the final render we'll see something to do to that. So now we have some simple objects. For example, this. So what we can do to that. So to this, just going to change it to a random. Maybe this cancel. Maybe paint. This plaster paint. Just to add that. So then the grass. Let's see if Corona comes with reloaded grass. If not, we'll just create our own and we'll see how to just quickly place material with Corona. So I don't think we have anything that has to do with grass here. You can see, let's look at nature. So even though we have nature here, none of them is for grass, except the grass blades here, which we are not going to be using anyway. Of course, we can use soil since we are going to be adding uh, uh, forest park grass. But let me just show you how to create corona material in case you want to create it from onset. So from the scratch. So I'm going to change this. So instead of coming to the sample select now, just going to come to corona, pick corona MTL, see all this changed. Now that they changed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a texture on my computer, plug it in as grass. So I have different grass here. I'm just going to pick one. So let me just pick this. That one is high resolution anyway. So I'll just plug it in here to show shaded report, and I can apply UV. So this guys is not actually doing anything there because we'll still cover it with glass, but in order for it not to be disturbing us, that is why we are just having it. So I put it on that. You can see it's styling and all those things, but we are not going to see it. So I just place it there. I don't bother too much about things that are not going to directly affect the render. So you see now we have this air, but yes, the what's it called will cover it eventually. So I think trademark is doing autosave, so we need to wait for it. So now we are almost done. One thing I should tell you is whenever Corona is giving you this notification or error reports like this that your there are some objects you're seeing that are not supported, the materials on them are not supported. You can actually select the object. You can see if you click on select object, it will show you the name of the object here, and if you come here you see the object. So what I can do now is to isolate the object, but I think I've worked on this object anyway, so it shouldn't be giving me that error again. So we'll see. Yeah, the object has been worked on. So then select another object. Okay, this particular one is the road. So what I can do for the road is I don't need to create an asphalt and go through all those stress. You see, anything as far as I'm concerned, anything that is not really going to be seen in my camera, I don't stress myself on it. I just apply a material that is compatible uh, with Corona. So and I move on. But if I know that I'm going to be seeing it, then I will put much more effort into it. But my camera is not going to be seeing this road at all. So I can just apply a random sidewalk material into it. So in the sidewalk, if you look at it now, okay, you can see the camera is not even seeing it. So I will just applying it for the sake of application so that it will not affect anything, later. And I'm almost done. I'm almost done. So I can actually stop this for now, and I will see what I can do to this particular material here. So end isolate. So if I should start again now, it will give me fresh materials that are actually not compatible yet. So I'll select. So it's still a floor right there. So if I right click, isolate the floor. Oops. So definitely what is happening is that we have some materials in that floor that are not changed yet. So definitely maybe we have three materials. So this is it, and we look at it. This is the material it is trying to tell us that is not compatible. So what I can do now is change the material type. Just pick the plaster because that material is not actually showing anywhere. So I can just stop the render and isolate like I did earlier. And now if I start again, it's giving me only one. You can see, and that only one actually is some doors that we have some openings that we created in Revit. So if I select similar, because it is more than one, there are like about three, and I isolate them, see the three of them there. So to this, everything is cool. Really tried by making sure that everything is cool. This one that is showing red is just because we have not opened the preview possibly and updated it. See now, everything is okay. So if I click on this, it's going to bring that object, and this is it. How do I quickly locate it? Because I know that it is the one that will show the red, and change the material. I'll just pick that same material and change it. So we are cool now. All the materials have been created. So end isolate and let us see the way everything is. Okay, I'm good with this. I'm cool with it. Some of the things that I need to change are this. So by observing the materials, I discover that this floor actually needs to have a bigger texture. So what I'm going to do is to come to the material editor if I'm right, this should be if, let me guess. Since I'm through with all this, I don't need to have the like this again. So I'm just click on this. So this is the cobblestone. So the major thing I need to change are these textures. So I'll double click on the texture. Now it is on 1000 because we are using a real scale. So I can change it to like 3000. So double click on this as well. 3000 because this is the, if I'm right, this should be the reflection and this is the bump. Then bump as well. So you can see now they becomes a little bit bigger, and that is nice. I think I can do the same thing for this uh what's it called? This wood texture here. I think I like what I'm seeing here. Especially that white light coming from the sky is quite cool and good. And also the glass air, I don't like the way it looks. It is not as strong as I want. It's too clear for me. So I want it to have good reflectivity and less refraction. So what I'm going to do is this is it. So I'm going to double click on it. So you can see reflection is high, which is cool. The refraction as well. I'm just going to reduce it. So by reducing the refraction, you see, I have something really looking like a kind of mirror like glass, and that is what I actually want. So also, and the logic behind it is this. You see, a reflection is stronger when the refraction is less. So if you cannot see through an object clearly, not that you can't see, but it is not so sharp refraction, then the reflection will really come out strong. But if they are both sharp, then it's not going to actually come out strong. And I think one of the things I did when I was actually creating this was to think, and I felt like, oh, why can't I just have white material here? So what I'll do is pick this wall, pick that plaster white. So where is it? Just okay, this is it here, and just apply it. So by applying it, you can see what I have there. That's cool. So creating nice contrast over there. What else? What else? I think I'm cool, except maybe this tree wood. So let me pick it again. Okay, where is it? This wood maybe just look at it and maybe make it 5,000 by 5,000. Then the bump also should be this is like okay, don't let us use very light because it was created by uh Corona guys, so they know why we didn't want to use very light and very scale and yet they used it. So in this, if you reduce this by like 5, so this the texture will be bigger. So that is the idea behind that, and I'm cool with this. And I'm really cool, and you can see if not that um I chose to explain everything. You see, it's quite simple. The tutorial can just be like 15 minutes, but yet I've worked on all the materials which you actually need to see. And you see now what is happening here. This supposed to be a roof, and I because I know that I'm not going to be having much focus on it. I didn't put a real roof on it. I just did fascia alone. So, but now it is shown white. What I'm going to do is to apply a wood. So let me just apply this wood on it as well, so that it will look like wood. So this is quite nice. If I have any other thing, let me just see. For now, I don't think I have. So I'll close this. I'll stop the interactive rendering. And of course, if it were to be that I'm focusing on this and I need to change the UV and all those things, but I just want to make everything simple in this tutorial. It's not going to be a complex one. So now let us see. So I always say before I start to see everything all together, because it's quite important. So it has been saved and you can see the way it looks. So let's just finish this thing by coming to the layers and put all the layers back to where they are. So now that I have them and see the way everything looks, if there's anything to tweak, I'll tweak it. If not, then I'll do the final rendering. You can see that under 2 hours or so, 3 hours, you are already through and ready to take your um to do the final render. The major thing actually that you now need to note is that it is not always this simple. The first thing is you are the one working. You should actually determine everything you want. You need to plan it. You need to sit down and create everything that you're supposed to create right on paper. This is the material I'm applying to this. This is what I'm doing to this. This is what I'm doing to this. With that, you will be able to speed up your workflow because you already know where what which one is going. So with that, you are okay. And also, I must let you know that the other elements that are in the scene, all these buildings and their materials on them are actually corona materials. So of course, this is corona 3 and it can render some basic very materials basic material conveniently, but yet it is better sometimes to just convert all the materials to uh, corona material. And it's quite simple. If you want to convert very material to corona material, all you need to do is to come here. You see this icon, you see run uh, corona converter. So by looking at this, you can see that it wants to convert specular reflection for V-Ray. It will convert the HDRI to, if you have HDRI in your scene, so to convert it, convert V-Ray blend to Corona DGX, all those things. When you click on it, it will convert. And many times I always leave it at default and I'll just click start conversion and it will convert all V-Ray material to Corona material. That is quite simple. And also because we have so many people that the way they work is actually funny. They will do option add prefix to converted material. Some people set their material IOR for any IOR to 999, all those things. So you can check all this in case where you have all those kind of materials there. But you can see conversion, this is very, very important. All materials, maps, and light are converted. So now that is cool. One of the things that I can see here is the pavement that I created there. I did not apply material to it. And also these curbs here, these walls that I use as curbs, they actually need a different material because you wouldn't have your material white like this at that base. Why? Because when the rain falls, for example, water will splash, and when water splash, these curbs will actually be a little bit dirty and all that. So you need to put into consideration all that, and that is what I'm going to be doing now. And notice also here, this wall supposed to have white material on it. So I'm just going to quickly come and apply that white material. So to change to white material, you can see it now. So another thing I need to check is to find that dirty concrete material. So let's look at concrete. Let's see what we have there. Maybe we can use this one. So I'll just drag it there. Make sure that you, let's even see what, lay out everything vertical. So now I'm going to select this. I'm going to apply this material to it and show the material. See, so now it is not showing the textures. So definitely I'm going to need to put UVW map, and for the UVW map, still not seeing things correctly. So hope I'm on the right material on it. Maybe I should just delete this and use another method. So let's stop this rendering first. So stop this. So what I'm going to do now is right click on this, convert to, okay, I can't convert. So what I can do is to collapse everything. So when I collapse this, it becomes editable mesh, then I should be able, I still can't convert it to editable poly anyway, but yet you have that. And now apply the concrete again. Okay, I guess that because the concrete is actually too far. So okay, I have this, but it is still not showing yet. So I think if I apply UV now, UVW now, to show, but it's still not showing. Why? So let's look at it. I'm using real world scale, but the object is not showing. Let's try 6,000. Still not showing. Wow, that's quite not good, but let's try it on this. See, showing here, definitely something is wrong with that. And since, like I said, we are not going to be seeing it in close-up details, we might just leave it and just concentrate on the areas that we work. Of course, this is not um, a call for you to be lazy, but rather I'm just trying to tell you that instead of wasting time on what might not show, why don't you just let it go? So I think if I still delete this, it's not seeing it. Just looking for what to do. So are we using Planner? So now if since I'm not seeing it, let's try and use the method. So I can right click, pick map, Corona, and use Corona Planner. So what that one will do is I can pick this and just put it in XYZ, and now I'll put it in the output map, and by putting it in the output map the way they did, you should be able to see it, they're still not seeing it. How did they set this thing up like this? Despite they now put it into the owner A. This is quite fun. I don't like having any complex material like this. Something that we can actually create with simplicity, but that is how they created their own. Definitely, I'm not going to rack my brain too much because that area is not going to affect what I'm going to bring. So, system is doing autosave. Let's see autosave. I'll wait for it, and when it is done, I will change the ATRI and I will do the final end. So now I'm going to stop this recording, and the next recording will be render setup and possibly show you the render element, even though I didn't use render elements for this, and I just want to show you